That don't sound right. Let's do this again. I need my music to sound on point here. Like I always say, it would not be a suitable entrance without this. 1 second. And, for those who's watching, thank you. All right. As I get my theme song ready, please always hit the like button as you come into the building. Thank you. And we about to hello, Colleen, Jane, 79. What's good, sis? I'm just getting my music on. Here it is. All right. And like always, my moderators be on point, As my music comes on. Damn. If my sound sounds good, let me know. Here we go. All right. It should be coming now.
God don't know why.
All right. Now that I got that music on the way, I guess we could soon start. A few things I'd like to say. for those that are going to watch this stream. The Cash App and my link to follow me. You can follow me on Twitter, Chaos Rain 7, Cash App, $ Chaos 8 the Rain, which I'll put in the chat room now. These are links to follow me and support the channel. As you know, the title of the subject: get yourself a non-select man if all else fails, ladies. Now, and and for my moderators, can you share the show on your social media outlets if you can? I would appreciate it. Now, why that title is, ladies, you should get someone that is not selective or put out there in the dating market, or just in general. If you're trying to either secure some form of financial bag, or secure something, not financial, but just for some security, or better yet, just to feel you need a mate that will probably be in it for a long haul. A non-select man might be the next step if everything else does fail. Now, mind you, I harp on this channel or on the stream to not only give the information, but also to give a resolution or a solution to every problem that's facing not only the Black community, but also in some regards to how we view ourselves in relationships and what we could do somewhat better. Because we all know nothing's perfect, but there are always better ways to, better outcomes to get the best result possible. And I notice with a lot of dating coaches out here, is a market nonetheless for them to help exploit you, or better yet, get you what you need or you're searching for, or give you guides on how to get what you needed. It's one or the other. So, as you know, that the dating market is always a changing thing. I've seen it, and even dating now has become more what we call digitized in the 21st century. And a lot of people don't know that. Why I say digitized, because a lot of people are not really going out and meeting people and having that social interaction with one another. They are now having what we call this digital love, this artificial love, where we go back and forth texting, and eventually it might lead to, the Netflix and chill or something more. But this is where normally the society goes with the helps of technology, a blessing and a curse. I look at everything that people do today. If they don't make use of it, it can be a detriment, a curse to your life, if not used responsibly. It's like when you go out and have casual sex or sex, you always got to be responsible. And you as a man, you have to probably protect your seed, strap up. You as a woman, you have to protect your womb. You don't want to put in unnecessary babies in there, for whatever reason, If shit happens, it does maybe happens. But there's certain things we can't control, and we can control where, the essence of what the outcome's going to produce with this thing we call sex. But, casual mating for a short period of time does not really build anything down the line. So, like I said, I put everything on here, and I'll just show it here so people can look at it. So, why chaos should I, as a woman over the age of 20, maybe in the 30s or late 30s, should explore my options in the so-called dating or mating scene if I am entertaining that still? Go for the non-select dude. That's a good question. My biggest question I had to ask is, what is your long-term goal in this dating and mating scene? Are you looking for marriage? Are you looking for just a long-term relationship where you just, talk, have fun, have sex, and then, be about that? It's all what you're trying to get out of this. What is really your end goal in this dating and mating scene, ladies? This is the number one question you should ask yourself for anything else. If you've been dating and you've been into some relationship that's extended for greater than 2 years with the current guy you with or any man you with, usually that is equivalent to almost a marriage that doesn't last now a year now. And there are some relationships now that people are engaged now that last longer than their marriage, which is telling in the society. Very telling. But nonetheless, when you're in this market looking for the best mate or the best guy to, to sell down, it is work, ladies. I'm not discounting that the work that you're doing now or what you're not doing enough will get you the best result. But like I said again, you have to put in the effort, the work, you know what I'm saying? The vetting process is a real thing in our society, which the society does not promote. One time it did. Well, actually, there was no such thing as a vetting process back then, because back then, we all know if you knock up a woman, most likely you hear stories of a shotgun marriage when a man got his rifle ready. He goes up in your face and said, if you don't marry my child right now, I'm going to put two in your dome. And usually that certain individual will have to sit there. Well, actually, he'll have to sit here to get his ass up, go find that ring, and right there and there, put the ring on it right off the bat through fear of death, which I like to call consequences. Because the reward is that you are going to have a child. The consequence is if you don't marry, you're going to get pretty much killed right there in the spin. And I think there's stories during the time that a lot of men probably feel that and probably got killed in the process of knocking up, their daughters. Or the father find out his daughter's getting knocked up by a no good dude that all he wanted to do was just to screw and leave, have sex, and just go. The pump and dump method. This really is not a good thing, and back then, and it's not really a good thing now. Now that I think about it, but nonetheless, pump and dump has its purpose. But in the realm of this society's Western culture, it can cost you, brothers, maybe over 18 years or more of your financial little squabble money that you make a week time on your decent job or your just regular job. And like my friend Amiri Brown said best, when you're paying child support, you're getting off easy. You're getting easy. Back then, there was no such thing as you're gonna be just giving his daughter some money because they never really had like that back in the day. You were gonna marry her and secure her, so she get the bag automatically without even doing much besides opening her legs and then you just enter it. But we don't live in those times now. So for the second best thing for a lot of you women, you might have to choose better. You think you can get around not choosing better, you're sadly mistaken. And I'll say this. Every black boy that becomes a man that has their father in life, if your father was real, on his shit, he will tell his sons that as a boy in this society, this Western culture we call America, you cannot afford to be fucking around or playing around. You get me? You don't have that luxury. So every decision you make can either empower you or be a demise or a detriment to you. And usually that was instilled to every young man, depending on who raised him. Mostly if the father did play a role in his life, he would instill that to his sons right off the bat. And not every man does this, but let's say if he's real thorough, he will put that in the sun so his son would know. Other than that, most times most parents will let their children just wing out and just, live life and just do whatever they want. But when it comes to black culture, you can't really afford to do what you want because you're in a behind enemy lines where at times every decision you make, every move you make, like I said before, either could empower you or it could be a detriment. And since you as black man, the margin of error is very slim. You gotta be very much on your game. Not only this applies for the young boys, but I will have to say this has to apply to you too, ladies. Your margin of error is very slim. You can't afford to F around as well. If you're really serious of getting what do you call it? Security. You know. I don't know why this man sharing this. I'm doing something. So, and one of the things I would say why you don't have time luxury to fuck around. Simple, ladies. You have what they call a womb. It's the most prized, precious gift that the creation has blessed upon you. What you do with it is totally up to you. It is up to you. And if you feel so that, if you want to waste a good precious of, let's say years, let's say you mess with years and you go to school, you might have casual sex, whatever. And then maybe, let's say, children come to play. Okay. Now, what's the next step? Maybe sometimes you might have to stop what you're doing in school. You might have to work maybe harder. Just not only fend for yourself, and also fend for your child, especially if you're doing it by yourself. And usually, on the average, these little child support checks, if you're getting, doesn't really sustain a child. Because last time I checked, these child support, and it varies from different state, but if it's not even depending on your state, you might be able to get around. And I say just get around, but it really doesn't sustain it because those checks are not really affordable to give you a livable wage. Just like most of these jobs, everybody works at, men and women, especially when y'all work, it's not a livable wage where it subsidizes your cost of living. So you can't expect that the same child support going to do the same. And it's not going to do the same. So for those most women that feel in the 21st century that is a come up besides having a man, providing something and marry and take care of some of the more heavy work from you, a good portion of ladies, young women in the society will take the check more than everything else because of this condition of the society. The society don't even push black families like that no more. And the reason for that, because that's all political, mind y'all. Because sit there, continue promoting black families up to the 21st century will not serve the cause of the agenda that they try and push to solely, depopulate billions of people, especially millions here in America and anywhere else where there are black presence. They try and get those numbers in control. Because right now it's a numbers game right now. If you look at it, ladies, for you have one child or two, or probably three, it can put a financial strain on you because now that's another mouth to feed. And depending on the man you pick, he could be stretched out. And there are many men, and I said many men out here that stress themselves out when they have more than one child from more than one woman. Because every time he injects his essence to that black womb, 9 months a baby comes out, and then that baby, it needs the nourishment, the necessities to sustain in an artificial environment. So if you're not really prepared mentally and physically, the dude you choose will abandon you, ladies. He might be a derelict from the start. Hell, his father was a part of derelict, so obviously a good high percentage he might become a derelict himself because it's the monkey see, monkey do effect. You know what I'm saying? And most boys and girls see what is man and woman through the relationships in their own households with their mom and dads. that boy is going to emulate his mother. I don't give a crap what somebody will tell me. That's because he's the one that's being nurtured, groomed into the image she sees fits. So, with the lames, which is said by non-select, why they should start diverse their time and maybe give the time of day to the so-called, and I say so-called nicely, a male that's not slick or call himself lames and all this labels. Because these so-called non-slick and lame Negroes are not getting coochie on a regular. I already cussed enough today, and I don't want to cuss much more. They're not getting that vagina on a regular. So that means usually a male that doesn't get vagina on a regular, he has somewhat time on his hands. He usually has to depend on his other good qualities, which is being somewhat productive. I'm not talking about those, well, actually the geek ones that sit there play video games all day. I'm not talking about them. And usually those are ones that if they market themselves properly, they could probably are making probably decent money playing the video games if they know how to market it. And also, maybe work in those Fortune 500 companies. Who knows? Because usually when you're not slick, you're not out there chasing, or if you're not putting yourself in the game to get some, you're putting all your other energy into other things. Because time is a very much a necessary resource when it comes to men and women, especially the men that is quote unquote not that select to do that. It's not getting some. So I mean, he's invests his time in other things, and it's not because he don't want to. He probably has no choice. Because if he was able to get coochie on a regular like that, by default he will be very unproductive. Oh, and I know that hurts a lot of men right there saying unproductive. What do you mean unproductive? Well, think about it. If all is on your mind is getting the coochie, the vagina, and let's say you're getting it and you get on a regular like that, you're not doing enough. Your energy is being psyched right in front of you as a male because now you're just constantly exploding and coming and wasting your essence all over to other wombs, and you're not getting nothing in return out of it. Besides a baby that will come out of it, but in regards to energy you expel, is probably useless because the energy could be expelled much better on some of the productive things. And usually the vagina should be the reward everything after, let's say, hard work. When a man puts in, those hours, or if he's building something for himself or his legacy or a business, those are rewarding things he should get at the end of it. And I say reward. But other than that, any man that have been not even getting that much on a regular that's lame or non-select, he got time, because he has to divert on his other qualities. That's not really what they call built for a character, a more well-balanced male. Most of these non-select men, on the average, are antisocial ladies. I've seen it. Yeah. Some are probably even awkward. Sad. But one thing is evident that is clear, and no woman can fight me on this. At least, when I say at least, I mean at least, he's not out here, spilling too much of his seed to other women and impregnate, because he's not getting that much anyway, because most likely he doesn't attract or bring the appeal enough for the average sister to even give up the pennies. And here's a beautiful thing about all this. These so-called non-select Negroes, these lames, these non-select and Negro lames are pretty much maybe easier control than the ones that's able to get the draws. You hear me? And everybody knows one thing a woman does have at the end of real control is between her legs. But if you're able to front it to those dudes and give it to them easy, what do you expect anything better out of him? He already got what he needs. Matter of fact, I'm surprised most of these dudes that's getting them panties on the regular that he just give you the and then you don't hear from him again. Unless he's unable to get some from this woman and he feels he needs that urge to release he'll hit you up on your DM. You feel me? Mm-hmm. That's the name of the game. He'll hit you up when he needs something from you. And on average, he needs something just to, release. So a non-select man, or what we call quote unquote those so-called lames, are the next best thing, ladies, if everything else fails. Because one thing is you do have some control, is you able to control how often you give him that vagina and the days when he should be getting that vagina. Now, most women are going to fight me and say, well, that don't work. I get because you're screwing a so-called, to your eyes, a select male. Now, if you're screwing a non-select, or what they call the quote-unquote lames that BD argue about, these so-called no-good Negroes that be bitching and complaining about the woman they can't get, those are the ones that have all the time in the world. So you sit there, you slip them, you slip and give them a good head, or you give them that grind. It's gonna shut their ass up. Matter of fact, it will make them very much a quiet animal. To the point they won't be this. They don't even worry about the women they can't get. They say, well, I'm arguing about it again. What the hell was I arguing about again? Oh no, I got somebody at home to deal with it. All right, screw y'all, man. I got some things to do. And a lot of dudes don't like when said their so-called non-select lame friend is getting coochie or vagina on a regular basis. They hate that shit. They hate it with a passion. You feel me? Kano said, boy, I don't want to be at home in my bed by myself. Matter of fact, I'm tired of using the lotion. You hear these stories that a lot of these dudes that don't get now, they have to rely on. I said, yeah, damn, it's that one of the nights again. Like BMT said, say, at least this lotion is my best friend. I find it funny, but really that's how it is with a lot of dudes that's considered quote unquote non-select or lames. They go on to rely on expelling their time constructively instead busting their seed into wombs which they can't get to. And like I said before, time is the very essence. It's something that no person should be wasting. So, and another thing why I'm quoting this and really dedicating this stream on this is because think about this, ladies. The one thing that's very much weakness, and a lot of women don't want to hear it, is you're not willing to to get that so-called dude that you want, or the select dude, or that perfect man that you hear enough of them harping about. You're going to have to compete. And usually when you have to compete, you have to wait in line with all the other chicks that's willing to get this one Negro to one day say, will you marry me? Or you're my boo, or whatever you want to call it. It takes a lot. It takes a whole lot. And you have to do things out of characteristic. And I'm not saying you should be a whore, ladies. I'm saying you gotta compete where at times your grace, your energy, something that you bring something different to that man's life will make him that select now want to gravitate towards you. If you cannot grasp it or master that, then your argument and your bitching is nonsense. It's irrelevant. It is irrelevant. Thank you, Kate. I'm Kylie Jane Seminar. It's very much irrelevant. Because you hear a lot of these dudes, they talk about saying, why they quote unquote follow the same labels by Michelle Wallace that coochie eater, the one that she talked bad about brothers, but she's a swirler and eats coochie on the side. You get me? But it's expected from a lot of women that follow these so-called feminist ideologies, which was created by European men at the end of the day, feminism. That's another story. But they follow the same rubric, and then they'll shit on their man, but they'll go turn around and mess with another man or another woman. It's telling. And this is where a lot of, or a good portion of our sisters follow if they really study it, but don't know what the hell they really get into at the end of the day. I know what they get into, but they want to hear it. They will not hear it. But like I said before, that you got to compete for that one man. And like I said, that one man might have more than one girlfriend, and potentially, if he's married, he might seek a second wife. Why is that? Because it comes with a territory when you're actually a man that provides all the necessities for women and has the charisma and look too. He's not going to be bound by one woman on the average, ladies. I don't give a crap what they tell you. They won't tell you this. You know this. Hell, some women now, like George said, that you are already sharing. You get me? You're sharing. Why are you sharing? Because this dude not only makes your pussy wet, but he brings the energy to that grace, the energy, that certain presence that makes you go, ooh, keep coming back for more and more. You will willing to share that type of Negro. I've seen it countless times with a lot of women sharing a man. They complain about, but they still share and deal with him. Why? Because he is that man that has masterly made that attraction and connection towards you. And usually the connection gets stronger once he fucks you. That's why in the African proverb, and a good book to read, which I've read, and I probably will reveal it again in an upcoming stream, called Kokobo, which means in Akan language, or in language of the tree, Gan language, means warning. This homosexuality was never accepted in ancient time. In that book, there was a page during the end of the 27th page of that book, I think almost the 20th page or wherever page, and I will find it and reread it, that once you ignite a woman's fire, it is very difficult to unlit it. That is a very much old African saying, but also a true statement, because they know the power what sex does. And when you flaunt it to any man, you put yourself at risk where your fire is fully ignited, where that man has that water, that essence water that can only ignite it, but he's not gonna be able to ignite because he already lit you up, baby. So now he puts you in a serious position where at times, no matter what he does or does to you, it can be justifiable. And you're gonna accept it and keep going back to him. There are very few women that take a certain, not just physical, but that emotional abuse from a man. Because the man, one of the things you hear they do that's really prevalent is that he's having engaged relationship with other women and giving him his essence to them. It brings that sense of jealousy to you because he is that only what we call match that ignite your fire that you don't want to be unlit. So you will sit there and fight hard to get this Negro back into your corner. You do not want to play second. You want to always be first. But you can't play always first or second because he already got you. And once he got you, the only thing you could do is two things. You find a way to unknit that fire that he put on you, or you just sit there, let that fire burn and let it burn wild with you next to him. Those are the only two options, lady. It's gonna lay beside you that you only could pick. And like in life, there is choices in life. It's one way or the other. Keep that in mind. So, like I said before, between non-select and non-select, or your choices, you're going to have to pick, and then you're going to give some of these so-called fellows that are very much either dorky, very antisocial, or hell, some of them that don't even know how to talk to goddamn women that time of day. I remember Miss Michelle, when she did a special stream on this, where she said that, if you at work with the same dude that is very shy and doesn't want to talk, or, doesn't want to talk to, you might have to impose on that Negro. You feel me? You might have to say, hello, Keenan. How you doing? What's she doing? And that dude will sit there, will gossip. I know. See this? You see the little scare of him, the little bitch in him. You might have to draw him out something off him, make him feel comfortable. He said, you're not doing anything time. Here's what. Oh, okay. Well, this I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call you. Here's my number. You write down a piece of paper. On a piece of paper. Listen good. Listen good now. Hear me good. You take a piece of pen and paper. You write it down. You put it next to him. Anytime you call him, right? He's gonna give you that look, and he's gonna shiver. He ain't gonna be happy. He's gonna be still scared a little bit. But don't worry, you're gonna draw it out of him, and then you just play your role. When there's some time, he's gonna get the balls to call you. You got to keep posting on him, keep pushing on him, and he'll crack. Like all males, they'll crack eventually. You know how your ladies work. Yeah. Let me read the comments. Okay. Can't tell a man. Oh, and what's up, LaShawn Jefferson? Everything good, brother? There is a bitter whole better. Okay, let me read this. Can't tell a man what he needs to do. There's a better hoe that's better than you. Being a lady, 1,000 low class can fill one saying is going good. Women 4 years of life, and then he continues. I'm good. I'm a good woman, but a baby mom of many men better than think what plastic bags bringing asking for a high quality bag. Okay. Yeah, I know. Thank you, Moses Wallace. Yeah, man, it comes with this territory, and I know some women not gonna like this. They don't want to hear certain things because really true when it comes to men, a lot of women that said they know it all, assume they know it all. They feel the direction they're doing is pretty fine, and as you could tell, the results they're getting is pretty fine. But obviously, when you whine and complain about certain things, I know you're not okay and fine. So whatever you're doing, you said that's doing, ain't working, baby girl. You're gonna have to do something better or different. Gotta do something different. Doing the same thing over and over again is insanity. I think when Amiri was called in on my previous show, which y'all probably caught if you go back to the replay of my last premiere, and I've asked people to check out the channel. There are countless videos up there now of shows I've done. They're very lengthy, and so because they're actually talk show with a call in, so I advise just go back to them, listen to them. I have some unusual people that be calling up on there and having some very unusual discussions. Some good, some bad, but you'll like it. One of my friends that calls on regular, was making a complaint with the Great Liberator about, she doing everything right, but it's like she still gets the least of the stick, far end of the stick. And like the Great Liberator said, you have to choose better. You're going to vent them properly. But it goes back again when a lot of women makes the excuses. Time I say that whatever do is not good enough, and if they try that it didn't work. I said, well, in the stage of life, there is what we call trial and error. Every man goes through this, and you ladies, you're gonna go through the same way. Your process of how you're mating and selecting or you're vetting is in the gutter, it's toilet water, it's shit. You might have to do something things much different to get at least the results you're looking for, or somewhat of a result. And same thing with us men. And you know what, most dudes that either don't make the complaint or just winging it. Most men at the end of the day, they're gonna do what's necessary to get that woman. And most dudes that consider themselves non-slick or lames, they're not gonna sit there and trying to war down who they are just to bag that sister they're looking for. They're not gonna do it. Their ego's in the way why they won't do it. And usually, if you really want that black sister, that nice thick sister with the boobs and the ass, you're gonna have to probably water down a little bit just to attract and maybe get that woman. Hypothetically, if you're a man that's not getting some on a regular, or you just say you just want that sister because you want that black woman because you just want her, you know? Because she has that body, which most dudes are really attracted. They're usually attracted by the face and body anyway. They never really care about anything else. And once they're able to get that woman and she's able to slide in that the pussy once in a while or their head, they're good. They're good. You know what I'm saying? So if you think about it, at the end of the day, to most of my people out here, especially ladies, you know what I'm saying, you're going to do what's necessary, to get the results you're looking for. You get me? And one thing, the things you're doing now and the complaints you're doing, and it's the common complaints, it's not working, sweetie. It's not working, No one's gonna feel sorry for you if you feel you can't get that man to stay around a little longer or whatever excuse you're making. You have to not only choose better, but you're gonna have to change your strategy up a little bit. That's the only way it's gonna work. You gotta change the strategy up a little bit. You get me? So I'll say this, that if everything else fails, you might have to start give your time and energy to the non-select, especially if you're over the ages of if you're in your mid-20s going up to your mid-30s. Obviously you're gonna have to start doing that stuff. You're gonna have to start doing it. And I'm saying this because really I'm a person with solutions at the end of the day. And I feel that the solutions that y'all dealing is not enough. All right. So yeah, hold on a second. All right. So let me read these comments. Let's see what's going in the chat room. I'm gonna speak. You were speaking the truth when you were doing blueprint for Black Power. Okay, that's nice. What type of black woman we should date? Okay, slide in a little slide like a credit card. Are you worth using his credit? Oh, that's some funny thing. Let's say what type of black woman we should date. You know, well, really, this is really this topic is only dealing with the women per se. Moses Wallace, because I'm trying to give a sense of a solution to some of the women that you hear the complaints about the cheating, infidelity, this and that, and probably I'm not talking about the abuse because no person should stay in no abuse, especially a physical abuse. Anytime when a person got to put some hands on you, that's when you have to get up and pack up your shit and get the fuck on, move on. Don't stay in no serious abusive relationship when a man has to exude his masculinity by busting you in the side of your head until the white meat show up. I don't know that. I don't call that at all. All right. Yeah. So, like I said before, but I would say this for most black men since they asked that question. The only thing I could say, the only thing I would say for you as a man, the type of black woman, a black woman that's gonna at least deal with your program, at least, you know what I'm saying, and be able to help facilitate whatever you're trying to accomplish in your life, you know. If she could do that, she's a winner, you know. Besides the submission piece, you know, that comes within time. But like I said before, if you're on a certain direction path and she could be on your program and to facilitate this path to make whatever you're doing a reality, then by all means, that's a keeper, you know. Yeah, that's true, LaShawn. Yeah. So this is what I probably will do. Let me see. Let me see if I can get certain people on here and see if they can get their take on this. Um, let me see Let me see if I can get Mr. Officer Faulkner on here. So 1 second, guys. Okay, he's not on. Let me see if I can get another person on. All right. So, I guess they're busy. So, depending who's on the line, who wants to jump up on this stream and give their take on what is said or anything specific on this topic? Give me notification on chat right now. Let me know. No, it's not busy at this time, but I will open this up a little bit. Okay, I probably will keep talking a little bit. But other serious matter. And it's funny when it comes to women after they reach a certain age, they start to get it, and they now decide to really get their life in order and try to what's the word bend a man after so many years years. Now they make a president once they reach what they consider in this so-called society, Western society. If you heard about ladies, as a lot of black women, like any woman, hit the wall where they start to really, start selecting wisely. And it's sad that they have to reach up to that age, which is really mid-30s, to start really water down. and now say, I'm looking for a stable relationship, and at times I'm now not giving up the cooch. You hear a lot of things a lot of women start do now, you know, so that you know they could be quote unquote hopefully get a ring on it, or if they were married and they get divorced, they want to get married again and settle down with the actual right dude. You see them start doing this now. And the sad thing about all this is that one thing is evident, that if you're not learning from your mistakes while you're in your 20s, it's gonna be hard for you to start getting now while you're in your 30s. Usually, you want to keep your mistakes, just like the men, where you can't afford to screw up. You have to think like that too, ladies. And the reason why I say it, because in this society, you could get away with certain things, but one thing is evident: you can't really take back the time you give, and you waste certain precious years of your youth and your womb to on men that's not really deserving, to be honest with you, or have not really put in any work just for to get a taste of a woman. To be honest with you, I mean, I know certain elders back then usually will say, usually they have to show up and do something to get not only attention women, but to really give a time of day where women will give them the time of day for their grace and time and affection. You don't see it no more. And usually that's a failure of the community, where I would say both men and women have been very derelict in this time. How we view ourselves relationship wise after the 60s. So what happens now? The children that were produced during the end of the 60s are a result of this onslaught behavior we perpetuate, where now it's become more of a hookup culture. Where now we just, if a person give us the quickest sex on the first night or within a few days, we don't want nothing to do with them. We don't want to sit to know their character, their morals, or what they bring to the table to better someone's life. And I'm not talking about always finance, but other things, because money comes with it. Because if you're a human being on this earth, or any person, you have to always be productive. As men, we have to provide something. We gotta protect something. You can't escape that as the role of man. It's been this for existence for thousands of years. It does not change. Just because you feel that you might get some money here and there, now your role as a man is less than, you don't do these things. No, your role is always going to be what expected as men. You got to protect, provide something. It's just now recently, now most black men today, they're not even going to protect the children, much less themselves. And I hear stories what the young children, boys, girls go through inside towards other people, from getting slammed down on desks, getting thrown on the floor, getting punched in their face. But other men, and not only men of this race, but other race men, will not get this comfort to abuse our children unless enough men were on their job. Because there's always consequence for every action you take. And what they've seen from the African race, they're not exuding that consequence like other races do. Reward and consequence. That's the name again. That's what we live on. So, you know. But let me do this one thing. And I know people are watching, so I will do something a little different. I don't know if my moderator is still here. Wait, who's this? All right. I'm going to send the links to these other things. I would normally share my Discord, but I'm not going to use Discord today. That'll be for another day. Okay. Another thing I do want to announce that the work me and the Great Liberator. Hold on, what's this? I think somebody wrote something. Hold on a second. How to start a live chat? That's a good question. I don't know. For women, each kid that trophy for thanks for participating. Yeah, it's true that. I'm just going through some late feedbacks. One other thing I do want to say, it's very easy out here as time progresses for a lot of us, and a lot of us gonna be making those decisions. I know a good portion of the black men that's already, swirling already. That the only thing I see move forward that they're going to continue what they're doing. I don't like it, but that's what is here and what's going to come. And I think I will see a good portion of our sisters going that same route. I think I remember when I think one of the YouTubers said that she went around and she's traveling in certain states where now she see black women with white males or non-black men. And I think these are like millennials or maybe Gen Xers, probably, who knows? But the point is this, that we're going to be, as people, we're going to seriously amalgamate with these race of people more and more as time progresses. And people forgot to say, you are integrated into a society like America when you were brought here as slaves. That is not going to change. It's going to continue on until they got a good portion of the black population almost blended in with them genetically, where you don't even see a black person from two black parents. Some of the children now that are a byproduct of two different racial parents are already marrying out or procreating more with the so-called people that run the society, which is really non-black people. Yeah. All right, I have one person. All right, who's this? Your mic's open. I guess he's getting his thing together. So I see it continue on, moving on forward. There might not be much stop. And I think one thing Kevin did said about what we do with people that are 30% of the population that's marrying out, that somewhat are best. I would like to say more of the people that went and did their thing, that got the degrees. I wouldn't consider the best, but I would say they are the ones that have been more productive because they went the full length to really get, go through the school, get the degree, just to work for somebody. I would say consider that they're the more productive of us in the society, that did everything that they should do, to operate in society. What should we do with them? And a lot of the people that are quote unquote labeled pro-black, they say you don't do nothing with them because they already made the decision. I agree. It's sad, but you cannot force somebody to come back. It doesn't work like that. You don't do that. And people like men that decide to date outside of race and find happiness over there, and they feel they're happy, okay, they made a decision. You can't pull back somebody that either, knows what's going on to really deal with the communities they're in now, or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't work like that. The people that make this, they made the decision. Now, mind you, if they're throwing shades to the community that they came out, shame on them. But overall, most of them that made their decision, they're not really saying anything negative to the community. Last time I checked. I could be wrong. The ones that are so-called educated, went through the college, got the degrees, and then marry out in their workforce, which that's normally what happens on the average, but that's another story. So I see at the end of the day that, you know, that number will grow. And like always, it is what it is. Remember, they project that what America will look like in the next 40 years, starting now in the 2053. So we're in 2019, going on 2020 in a few months. Let's do the math. Decade, that's 10, 3, 4. So wait, let me make sure. 1, 2. Yeah, that's almost 4 decades, I believe. Because 20 year old. No, actually 3 decades. 3 decades and a few years. I'm right. Next 30 years, what this will look like. 33 years. Only time will tell. Mr. How you pronounce his name? Claude Child? You have anything to say? Yeah, your mic's not working. Yeah, I know it opened a while ago and I can barely hear you. It's not working. Jump back out and jump back in. If you're saying something. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna put you back in the backspace and make you just jump out. Let's hang up and try to jump back in, and that will probably correct it. Yeah, that's the issue with what we call the StreamYards. It gives this problem. But I think I might have said enough, and I think I probably made my little point. So I'll probably end this here. I'd like to thank everybody that was listening to tonight. Wait. Somebody sent a message. Hold on, let me see what this is. Wait a minute. I'm just going up. Yeah, let me make one more call. And this will be it for tonight. All right, let me open your mic.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I hear you now.
So yeah. So
Are you pronouncing it? Is this Boss? You call yourself what? What you call yourself?
No. I'm saying like, what is that? What are you discussing?
No, but what you call yourself? I'm trying to understand.
Moses.
Coast?
No, my name is Moses.
Oh, it don't say Moses on here.
Oh, I gotta fix it then.
All right. Well, the whole premise of tonight, this is for the ladies, Moses. In regards to, for all ladies complain about the men that either they're dealing with now in their life or they're trying to date out and trying to find the best result, or the man that's trying to stay. I said, and this is me saying, that's very unpopular. You might have to take the unpopular route. You might have to give the non-select or the so-called quote-unquote lame the time of day as a mate. So, for if you're trying to maximize a better shot in a stable relationship or potentially marriage, if possible,
Yeah.
Because what these women are doing now that they complain about, it's not working. And they make excuses. If you catch my live stream, when Amiri called in and had discussion with one lady, and remember, she's only one of many. Each woman is different, but it shows present how they don't willing to vet no man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
They're not putting that process at all. I think one time, what's her name, Miss MJ, how she said that she did with one dude for 3 years, didn't give him no pussy at all, not one time, and eventually, she gave him some, and then Amir asked her, then what? And I think she gave a clear answer. But the point is this: that if you deal with any man that's, like, say, can able to get that woman, or he could play around and get what he's needed, then obviously you're not doing enough or doing what's possible to get the result you're trying to get as a woman. You know. So
Yeah.
what's next second best thing you could do? You go select a dude where the ones that's not getting some. You're better off your shot over there. You know what I'm saying, because if you didn't want to do that, potentially might able to grab or gravitate another woman, or is that quote unquote that select that most women either label, you got to compete with other
Mm.
women, and competing. The word compete when to say that is like what's the word?
Competition.
Yes, yes. They got to compete with that one male or that male that has his stuff together. You get me? They don't
Yeah,
like that word.
but I want to ask you, but why do not all black women,
Yeah.
I would say like most black women, right? Why
Mhm.
do they prefer to have black men to be a thug? Why can't they just have like a man that's like a Malcolm X or Dr. King or Dr. Amos Wilson? You get what I'm saying?
Why doesn't black women choose those type of men?
Not all, but
Okay.
not all black women. Most black women.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they choose these type of men?
I'm not sure if I say they don't choose them, but really, these men, and there are men, some like that might be out here now that's not nowhere near the Amos Wilson or Malcolm of this time, but they're doing productive things. They are out here.
That's true, but
They're out here. They're our Moses, but the problem is they're not what what we would call coochie wet. You feel me?
yeah, but what I'm saying,
Yeah.
so like if they won't do like any like community work, I'm saying like have become politically conscious, like that's aware of what's really going on. Like you see how like you're conscious, like the way how you know your stuff and that you're aware what's really going on, and you know about white
Mm-hmm.
supremacy culture. Like you get
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't they date um black men that's like that?
Why
Because
they don't look for those type of men? That's what you're saying.
yeah, yeah.
Hold on. My answer why they don't, because it's not popular on Moses. Even today in
Mm.
this age we deal with now, and much not every man, black man, has that certain intellect. Not saying which men are stupid, but we don't have that certain intellect there. But if a man, it's like this. At the end of the day, a man has to be productive. At the end of the day, because you still have to
Yeah.
operate the world regardless. You know,
Uh
and
huh.
men that quote unquote that what they consider is the word select. And the reason why I'm telling people why I'm using this word today because I'm wanting to push a narrative just for a solution part, and to most of the people that's on these YouTube circuit, they've been using it very loosely. I'm all using it for education purpose. That the ones that are select, from what they're saying, these men are not providing crap besides dick and balls. You know what I'm saying? And last time I tell you, you can't build no civilization or build anything constructive with dick alone. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put in some work, dude. You know. And if you're a woman
Yeah.
that has to work, and then this is what you come to every time, or that's what you're looking for. That's what you're vibing. You get me? You're giving your energy into that. You know. So you can't expect nothing better. And here's the sad thing about Moses. Moses, really, the same lady that was arguing with Mary on my same stream, and I think it was titled
Yeah.
uh Whites Love Jesus and Looks at Black as the
Yes.
Devil. If you go back to that stream, she really wants the black men that have their stuff together to help coach and straighten up the men that don't got them shit together. That is backwards thinking. If a man is not being productive at all, he's not gonna be productive at all, period. And no man has no time to waste to sit there baby another grown man if he's
Chaos.
not showing evidence. Yeah, hello? Go ahead. You were saying something? Okay. If you're speaking, you probably went low. So no man's gonna waste their time with that. They don't have time for that, and they shouldn't either. Let me read in the chat room. I found out how I don't have made out. Women play with checkers, men play with Rubik cubes. They think two colors, men think multi ways of colors. Yeah, you're right, LaShawn Jefferson. They do. So but like I said before, most of these women, at the end of their life is choices, and with the choice you make, it can either empower you or it could be detrimental. That's how I see it. So I have nothing against certain men when they tell the word and tell us they have to do better. It's mandatory. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they want to get the results they're looking for. Or either that, they're just gonna have to sit there and they're gonna, take whatever is given to them. Okay. All right, I'm gonna put you back downstairs. All right, but I think I said enough for tonight. Please, for those that were listening, comment, subscribe, and like this video. Always leave a comment after every video. Thoughts, feelings, expressions, how it make you feel and all stuff. I would like to see it in the comment section of every video. Also, you can support the channel with Bieber Cash App, Chaos 8 the Rain. I repeat, $ Chaos 8 the Rain. Support this little channel here. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. I will put some of my materials on Twitter as well. Chaos at Rain7. I repeat, Twitter./Chaos at Rain7. Please, leave your expressions, thoughts. You can also communicate from there. But that is pretty much it. Until next time, let the chaos reign.